Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite meal kit service. I'll warn you though, it is not for everyone. So my favorite meal kit service is called Hungryroot, and basically you give them $69 or $99 depending on how many bags of vegetables and containers of sauce and little containers of kind of salad, kind of like bean salad-y type things that you put into different recipes. Here's a booklet from February. Used them a few times since February, but you don't have to get the booklet every time. You can just look at the assembly instructions in your account, and I've been doing that. They're super easy. That's my favorite thing about it, actually, is that it's a really nutritious meal that is like closer to how I would like myself and my family to be eating all the time. Lots of vegetables, sauces that are usually made out of something like nuts or things like that that are pretty wholesome, pretty good for you, not super salty. Then their vegetables are like really fresh and delicious. The food tastes good. It is fresh all week. For those reasons, I absolutely love it. I love it especially for weeks when we're so busy that I know I'm not going to be doing any real cooking, and I just want some things that I can just get on the table really quickly. They say that everything takes less than 10 minutes, and I'm going to say that I must be a slow cooker. Every estimate seems low to me, like all these things that say you have dinner on the table in 30 minutes and I'm still waiting an hour later. There was one night when we came home from somewhere, my daughter and I came home from somewhere, I looked at the clock when I walked in the door and I looked at the clock when I said time for dinner, and it was 12 minutes in between. You will typically have a pile of plastic to put in the recycling and one pan to clean and your dinner plates, so it does not trash your kitchen. The food is very low calorie, surprisingly low calorie, and surprisingly satisfying for how low calorie it is. Like a dinner, a plate full of food will be 300 calories or so. I usually add tofu, tempeh, sometimes eggs for protein, sometimes beans for more protein, and that does add some calories. A lot of these meal prep services include a ton, like heavily processed ingredients, salty stuff, cheese, which I like cheese. I don't ban any food. I will eat cheese and pasta. I don't need you to send it to me. I can cook that. That it improves, I feel like, the quality of our diet on the weeks when we use it. The food is typically dated to be fresh all week. Some of the meal kit services that I've gotten, you have to look at them and be like, I had better use that. You get three dinners and you're looking at them triaging what you have to make today because the cilantro is turning brown, what you have to make tomorrow. I have found that it usually holds up until the best by date, which gives you a little flexibility about what you cook which day. You have a choice of two different packages. One that I've always gotten is called the Good Life. It is 4 meals and 2 sides. The meals are like usually a bag of some sort of faux noodle situation or rice with some other vegetables usually, and some sauce, and sometimes some chopped up stuff that goes on top of it. Sides, you can get breakfast foods. I don't love their breakfast foods. That's not really how I eat breakfast. Some little desserty type things. The brownie batter tastes really good. I think you can probably eat a ton of calories just sitting there spooning it into your mouth. And sometimes I find with the sides, depending on how they're set up, if I'm going to be adding protein anyway, I have sometimes been able to parlay the sides into a main dish. $69 to feed 2 people. They have a larger set of food you can get, which is just 5 meals and 5 sides. That would be a lot of food. You would definitely need to have multiple people eating it, or like only be eating this. It actually tastes pretty good. It's like fresh, ready to go. I mean, it's like fresh. You feel full, but it's got good flavors. The sauces have really good flavors. I wish they would sell the sauces separately. I would be a regular customer. The vegetables themselves are really high quality. Sometimes you end up with extra vegetables. Like when you make the pad thai out of sweet potato noodles, you add some snap peas, and I think you don't add the whole bag. Those are really good. There was another time, I think that was the time that I have the footage from, where there was like a salad-y type thing. You were supposed to mix all together and stir fry or something. and we ended up just eating the salad on the run. And they had these like the carrot chip things, which usually are like kind of starchy and tough if you get them at the grocery store. These were like really sweet and crisp. They were so good. So I have been really happy with them overall, just for those weeks when I'm in a real rush. It is generally cheaper than takeout. It is definitely more nutritious than takeout. It's not much more difficult. There are 2 reasons I don't use them all the time though. One is the obvious one of the cost. If you've watched my Trader Joe's hauls, you've seen that I can get veggies to smother with sauce pretty cheaply. I don't need to be paying $8 a serving or whatever it works out to. I haven't tried these yet. I think I'm gonna shoot these when I do. But these are, I found these at the regular grocery store with kohlrabi linguine. Kohlrabi is actually a cruciferous vegetable, which I'm obsessed with trying to eat more of. From a cost perspective, you can get the food more cheaply yourself. If you have a spiralizer, we're not gonna pretend I use it all the time though. Even buying bagged veggies, it's still more expensive. Probably the biggest downside and the reason that I don't do it absolutely all the time is that the variety gets a little old. I do not like their sort of Italian style food in general. They have this one sauce that's called, I don't know, it has black garlic in it, which is a fermented food, and it's like, maybe I just got a bad batch that was over fermented, but it was such a terrible taste. I don't want to eat that again. I was on some kind of like Alfredo type dish. They always have a lot of Asian inspired food, which is nice. It's not hard to make that on your own. And then some like Middle Eastern type food. After a while, it sort of all gets a little bit the same. Even though the names of the dishes are different, the overall feeling of what you're eating, it's kind of the same. But I do like them for occasional use, and I would highly recommend trying them if you're trying to find a way of making it easier to eat your veggies. If you're new to my channel, click subscribe below. See you tomorrow.